thinking small got us the people's car. Thinking networking led to being social. So what drives innovation? Leading through technology-driven solution drives innovation. Mindlance, moving towards services space with its innovative solutions. Yes, IT is essential, but who says it has to be mere commodity? It's way beyond that. Security, networking, infrastructure. Let us give an edge to what others think mundane or take for granted. Because even underground, IT can be creative, sharp, different, and customized. Innovation is now, here, in everything that you do. We have the experts, the experience, and above all, the mindset that guarantees an IT which is made for you. Innovation is what we believe that starts from the core. It is our DNA, and this one cannot be cloned. We dedicate our mind's extra horsepower to nothing else but innovation. At Mindlance, we are as precise as doctors, as meticulous in measuring your vital inches as trainers, and as understanding as your friends. We look at IT as a seamless force made of the fabric of enterprise computing, the carpets of mobility, and from the wires of networking to the plumbing leaks of security pipes. We work wonders together. That's exactly why we always see the big picture. That's why we offer complementary solutions, because even consuming can be made innovative. We consult like a friend. We deliver like an expert. We deliver innovation. We are Mindlance. Solutions to fit your business needs, always.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you liked the video. I feel the main thing Professor Raghavan and Professor Pillai has been telling about out here is the innovation fact, and we firmly believe that education sector at this point of time is going through an innovation cycle. The needs or the kind of growth it's going to be having is phenomenal. And at Mindlance, we do have a lot of solutions, our focus team solutions, especially for the education sector. I have a small presentation out here, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to skip a lot of those because the time limitation is there. And what I want to highlight upon is sometime back, if you look at the banking segment, we had huge amount of innovation which happened. The way we did banking earlier, and you look at the banking today, it's completely a paradigm shift which has happened. Today, that's what is happening. What's driving innovation is the need or is the kind of requirement which is changing dynamically. Today, a student, if you were to look at it, I have a small thing. Can we just put the slide down? I'm going to show you some of the stakeholders who are there as far as the education sectors are concerned, and what are their requirements, and we at Mindlance, what do we do? I'm going a little fast and skipping all this. Some of these facts have already been, kind of mentioned about the Facebook, what was mentioned earlier. Let me just quickly go to the slide which I want to take you to. Okay. Right, so what we are saying out here is the stakeholders who are there as far as the education sector is concerned. We have the university, We have the students, we have the faculty and the management, we have the parents, very important, and we have the industry, the corporate world, and the alumni. Now, if you look at each of their expectations, you'll realize that how it's changed over a period of time, and what are the main important things we need to look at. If you look at the student's perspective, it's the quality education, anywhere, anytime. I'm sure most of you have heard about the previous example, which is about the libraries which HP has created. Practical learning experience. Collaboration was mentioned earlier. Labs have been deployed by corporates. So all these are very important for students. Growth fostering personality. Again, I think some of the corporates have set up their labs at various institutes. But for a student, what's more important? He looks at it as where is it that which education center or which educational university he's going to get all this. Of course, the recognized degree certification, which will come if the educational, I'm going to take in the next slide about the university, but the student looks at all this. And finally, he looks at what gives him the job placement and growth. Very interesting slide. We look at the management perspective. Now here, if you look at it very closely, quality education and research, ranking and certification, one of the key focus area as far as the management is concerned. And of course, that results in increased revenue. The seats, how premium would you sell those seats? If your ranking is high, if you have the right infrastructure, if you have the right kind of technology, if you can attract better talent, better teachers, obviously your ranking goes up. Whereas I think there was an example in Andhra Pradesh, you have universities, seats which are going vacant. Why? Because, of course, students are not very keen in taking those places out there. IT essentials, of course, it's been mentioned so many times. Collaboration, one of the key factors today. Today, a student is looking at not just in his school, in his college, they're more keen in knowing what's happening in the other university, and they want to know how the learning process is changing and what are the kind of teaching which is happening in the other institute. Grants and funds, of course, today, if you look at it, government and corporates have been, giving a lot of grants and funds, but it's also important that the institute itself has got various kind of things by which these funds are allocated to the brightest of the university. Technical boards, accreditation, compliance, very mandatory today. If you were to look at it, there are a lot of things. I'm going to quickly get into the TechQuip part of it. That's amazing kind of an initiative which has been taken up. And of course, at the end of it, management looks at the industry corporate. Why am I sharing all this information? I'm trying to give you the perspective of what is it, how the expectations of each of the stakeholders are as far as the entire educational sector goes. Coming to the educational faculty, now how do you attract, how do you make your university or the college really world-class? You need to have the best of the faculty. You need to attract the right kind of talent. And that can only happen if you have the quality and innovative learning and evaluation process. Ladies and gentlemen, that's very, very important because today, as I said, the education sector is going through a complete innovation cycle, and there is a lot of paradigm shift which is taking place. Timely completion of curriculum, IT essentials again out here. Collaboration, students and educational institutes. The faculty also looks at this. And if you look at the next part, access to study and research material, not just in their institute, but across the world and across various other repositories which are there in the other universities. Now, most of the faculty does not want to get into the non-core area. Like, today, if you were to look at smart school, there is no need for, people to take attendance. You just have the RFID thing, and students just walk in and their kind of attendance is taken care of. So, the faculty does not want to focus on the non-core area. They just want to focus on the core initiative. Having said that, contribution beyond curriculum is something very important. Today, you'll find a lot of professors, a lot of teachers are collaborating with the students to come up with research papers and things like that. And that is something which is very important for a faculty. Industry and alumni relationship, again, it's very important. Coming to the next part, very important, I think the gentleman before said he being a parent out here of 2 kids. Now, what are his expectations if you were to look at it? He needs his ward to be present or going to the best of the institute. Quality education is the must which is provided out there. Timely updation and information on progress. Now, IT can do a lot out here. A parent need not just go to the school to find out, probably he would be going in a month or so, but at his home, he can actually track on a weekly basis what's happening, what's the kind of thing his son or a daughter is doing. Coming to the self-learning environment and facility, I think he's mentioned that before. If you miss a class or if you miss a kind of kind of a session, you can access it later on and you can go through it. One of the most important things is interaction with the institute management and faculty. If you were to look at how often does today's world is such that we all are leading a very busy life. The thing is, interaction with the institute and management need not be physical. Today it's possible that you can have these interaction over the because of the technology, and that can really enable things to move really faster. I just, another thing important for the parent is the safety also, which is mentioned out here. One of the school which I came to know in Mumbai has got this thing that when the kids come into the school, the parents get to know that your son has reached, and this is through an SMS. So through the RFID, it goes to the central server, and then they have a gateway which sends out the SMSs to each of the parents. So it's technology which is enabling a lot of changes which are happening. Coming to the last bit, it's of course the corporate and alumni, which is very important. What do they look at? Tools and gateway to connect and stay connected. Corporate ready quality potential candidate. We also have a good institute infrastructure, which is very, very important. And corporate-led programs, labs, research. All this has been kind of covered in previous 2-3 sessions out here. Now, what I want to tell about is how ready are you? The question which we want to talk to all you people out here, how ready are you as far as your establishment or your college or your schools are concerned? We at Mindlance have a solution. We call it Edge over Education 3.0. Now what that means is, when we went and asked a lot of our, when we did a kind of research with the education institution, everybody heard our presentation and said, amazing, great. We want to do it. We want to have IT being deployed and things like that. But the question mark was, where do we start? They didn't know where to start. They were little confused about how do we go about it. So the solution which we have is, if I were to put it at the forefront, you look at the internet and the intranet. Internet is for everyone to view in. Various kind of application would come in at the next stage. So this is a complete picture of our solution, what we deliver to any institution or to any college or a school. And what it has, have you all have got this brochure? It's inside your bag. If you look at this brochure, you will certainly come to know the entire thing has been explained much in detail. Due to lack of time, I'm not able to go to each of these, But let me just tell you that whatever we spoke, whatever everyone have spoken, everything is out there in this presentation, whether it is your marks card, which is going to the parents, whether it's your content management software, the key thing out there which was mentioned earlier, student management, ERP, financial accounting systems, or the collaborative platform, or the email and instant messaging, everything is incorporated out here. How do we deploy it? We have various phases. We have the pre-basic phase, where we kind of understand the kind of infrastructure which is already there, and then we come up with a defined phased approach as to how do we go about doing it. Transition to phase 1, to basic. We try to understand what are the most important thing which the school or a university or a college wants to implement, and based on which we not only, if I were to look at it, kind of look at prioritizing it, we try to do a proof of concept also. Okay, going to the basic phase, phase 1, where we kind of look at the hardware and the software inventory. We also look at the campus networking and connectivity. These can be, based on case to case, we can kind of come up with a solution which deals with the entire thing in a phased approach. That means to say, in the first phase itself, if you were to look at it, we just don't kind of put in stacks of machine or put the software. But what we try to do is, after the phase 1, we try to see to it that it is also adapted or people are using it. And we help the university or the college or the school to ensure that those are adapted, and then only the next phase is taken up. So our approach has been liked by various universities, various colleges, and we've actually implemented what we are saying right now out here. As you look at it out here, the phase 2 is, we first look at the phase 1 facts and figures, measurements, presentation to the stakeholder. Phase 2, identification of definition phase, application tool, which is kind of residing on the entire infrastructure, and then look at the service and also look at the connectivities and things like that. So, and what I mentioned just now is focus on area of collaboration, process automation, and focus on opening up services. Now, if you were to look at it, I'm going to go to the next slide, which talks about the timelines. We might sound very, these are all techies who are talking about various things, but it can be made simple. And we at Mindlance believe that we can make things work. Leave the technology part to us, you focus on your core business. So if we were to look at a typical timeline, approximate, we start from today, and if you give us an opportunity, we can come down to your institute, or we can come down to your college or a school, and we can look at, do the pre-basic kind of evaluation, and then look at a kind of a basic thing in kind of 16, the time frames are mentioned out here. 4 weeks is when we look at the basic, pre-basic, then the basic, and then we look at a standard first level implementation, and then we look at entire phased approach towards the entire thing. That's all we have to say. And from Mindlance, we believe that we can work together with all of you and make things in a much more, as I said, much more innovative way for your school to work or your university to work much better. Thank you very much.